I was diagnosed about 32 years ago of being a type 1 diabetic. I began taking insulin, and it's been quite the journey since. Type 1 diabetes is devastating. It truly is a devastating disease. I have said many, many times that it's death in slow motion. The toll that it takes on our body's internal organs is relentless. I have lost consciousness. I have been in a coma. I have had seizures.
There's a lot of pressure to keep her alive. I have come home and found her literally convulsing on the floor. I drove a truck at night, all night long, and I would call my wife about 2 a.m. to have her check her blood sugar to see where she was at. There was always that chance that I would call and there wouldn't be an answer. It gives you a sense of helplessness. What can I do from such a great distance to help if there is an issue? And you never knew until the phone was answered or not answered.
I would not go to bed until midnight. Tom would call me at 2 o'clock in the morning. Then I had an alarm set at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I had another alarm set at 6 o'clock in the morning so I could get up and start my day. Not a lot of rest, and it's hard to function that way, but that was our life. The restless nights that I would have, you can't function during the day as well as I could with a good night's sleep. But after we got Shadow, the alarm clock ceased, the phone call ceased. Since we've had Shadow, I have not had a seizure. I have not lost consciousness. I have not been hospitalized because of blood sugars. She literally is my lifesaver.
Since we've had Shadow, there's been a great weight lifted from my shoulders. There was never a night over that 13 years of driving at night where I didn't worry about my wife. And now I don't feel that same sense of worry. She can alert my wife to changes in her blood sugar, and then my wife can check and take the appropriate action long before it becomes a crisis. And that's what has been paramount for me. It has really given me a sense of ease. Bringing Shadow into our life was a lifesaver.
Being able to wake up at night, that's always been my worst part, is the nighttime blood sugars. One of the gentlemen that I worked with at our church, his nephew got a service dog. And so we kind of started researching, and from his recommendation and how happy they were with SDWR, our research, a lot of different companies, but we really honed in on SDWR.
Some of the features that stood out to us with SDWR really were that we did not have to go to them to get the dog. They brought the dog to us. And not only did they bring the dog, but for 18 months after receiving the dog, they came back periodically for training sessions. And that was just a godsend. I mean, they helped us teach the dog what the dog needed to know and keep the dog on task, and it just worked out extremely well. My wife is still alive, and she is quite healthy for a brittle diabetic. Her blood sugars have stayed, for the most part, under control, and the dog has been just a godsend for us. It truly has.
We had the opportunity to show and tell what Shadow does, and another gentleman got his dog from SDWR after knowing everything that Shadow can do. To encourage others and to help others, that's the best part for me. From what I've experienced and from what I know, to just be able to pass that on to somebody else. I love SDWR. I've loved what this dog has been able to do for our family, to be able to give somebody else some hope and some encouragement. I can lay my head down on the pillow at night and sleep well without an alarm at 2 o'clock.